There are fights, and then there are events. The day Godspeed faced off against the Hulk was the latter. It started not in a remote desert or a ruined laboratory, but in the throbbing heart of Manhattan, where every clash is witnessed by millions, some in person, most online within seconds. It began with a rupture. Not a small one. This was the sort of technology gone wrong anomaly that splits the sky in a jagged wound. It's threatening to swallow up entire city blocks. In the chaos, the Hulk, Dr. Bruce Banner, when he awoke that morning, was the first to arrive. Leaping over glass towers and scaring pigeons out of Central Park, he impacted the street with seismic force and roared at the churning maelstrom above. Godspeed appeared differently. One moment, the air was empty. The next, a streak of cracking yellow lightning arced from the East Side River. There he was, a blur gradually coalescing into a man dressed in white and gold. August Hart, known to the world as Godspeed. Sometimes villain, often anti-hero, always a wild card. The source of the disturbance. A stolen experimental amplifier. Now powered up and embedded in a bus-sized chunk of debris floating 50 feet above 7th Avenue. Hulk's solution was simple: smash. But as he crouched to leap, a voice sliced through the air faster than any siren. "Big guy, let's settle this before you break half the city," said Godspeed, his image flickering as he vibrated at impossible speeds. The Hulk simply growled. Within seconds, Godspeed had circled him twice, displacing enough air to rattle storefront windows. This was the issue. When two forces of nature collide, nothing around them is ever truly safe. You see, Hulk's advantage is obvious: raw, exponential strength, fueled by an anger with no known upper limit. He is, for all intents and purposes, indestructible, especially on a bad day. Godspeed's advantage, though, is subtle. When your speed regularly eclipses the speed of sound, even the biggest target is vulnerable. In theory, Godspeed struck first, blurring forward and launching a flurry of high-speed jabs. Each hit was a sonic boom crammed into a millisecond. Cars rocked on their suspensions. Lampposts bent, and windows cracked in a domino effect. At first, the Hulk barely registered the blows. Then, with every impact, he grew angrier. That was always the risk. With a bellow that seemed to vibrate the buildings themselves, Hulk spun, swinging a fist the size of a manhole cover through the air. Godspeed darted back, his body a ghostly streak. Gah! The punch missed. But the shockwave shattered an entire bus shelter. Godspeed needed something more. In the Flash's rogue gallery, his speed had always been enough. Here it was just keeping him alive. He focused, splitting himself in two. Not metaphysically, but by creating a vibration so fast his aftermeasures became tangible. Two Godspeeds darted in opposite circles around Hulk. Who, confused, but not intimidated, stomped, the ground causing the nearest sewer main to burst. With each pass, Godspeed unleashed electrical streaks, trying to disrupt Hulk's nervous system. The air reeked of ozone, lightning crackled, but the only result was an even greener, even angrier Hulk. Then the Green Giant adapted. He snatched a street sign and hurled it not at Godspeed's current position, but where he'd be a split second later. It was a guess, but a good one. Godspeed barely phased out of reality in time. The sign embedded in the Chrysler building like a cartoon arrow. It became clear. Speed alone wouldn't cut it. Godspeed made a call, rushing to the amplifier's wreckage. He needed to shut it down, otherwise this would never end. Hulk followed, leaping after him in 3-story bounds, toppling taxis and tossing mailboxes aside. Now at the epicenter, Godspeed vibrated through the machine's casing, seeking out wires. His vision a blur of circuitry and quantum energy, Hulk landed beside him with a force that cratered the pavement. Face to face, Godspeed tried one more trick, stealing just enough of the amplifier's energy to accelerate not just his body, but time itself for a brief window. Everything stopped. For all but Godspeed, a moment became forever. He used it to rewire the machine. Redirecting its excess power into the sky, creating an aurora borealis over Manhattan, time snapped back. The amplifier shorted with a bang. Hulk blinked in confusion. The threat was gone. As the authorities arrived, Hulk snorted, offering Godspeed a grudging nod before bounding away, already shrinking, clouds of steam trailing behind him. Godspeed battered and running on empty. Checked to see if the city was still standing mostly. It was. There was no winner, but there was no loser either. Sometimes, in the world of titans, survival and a saved city counts as both. In New York, it would recover. It always does.